Trump makes it harder to immigrate to the United States, except if you're white from South Africa.
At this point, I think that it may be far easier to become a citizen of heaven than to become a citizen of the United States of America.
Jamaica, this is going to destroy a lot of people's life. The American dream, which myself and everybody else had who struggling in Jamaica. By doing this, it mash up everything. Because first thing a man then I pray is that when I go apply for my visa, once me get my visa, run off in America, find somebody, married, put in my paperwork, get my green card and start live a regular life and start doing if you do in America. No. If America going to tell you this, what does that mean? A lot of people dreams of living in America for a better life just get destroyed. Imagine when them reach to that level, which they are not there yet, but they are going to. Once them do these things, that's exactly where they're going. Imagine running off in America. And it no matter if you're married, you cannot apply for a green card as a Jamaican citizen unless you are applying from in Jamaica. What sense would that make? That means that once you get a visa to go to America, you must come back to your yard. Because running off now gonna make no sense because you can never straight. That is one of the things that England has been doing for years. That's why enough people no go to England go run off. And if a man run off in England all 20 years and 25 years, him still not straight. And when them set the system so, you can't get job, you can't even get no if you rent, you can't do nothing. Every job asks for proof of residency. People, this is a massive blow to the immigration system. For everybody who aspire to live in America. This serious? Boy, oh boy. Boy. That one ya hit hard. That one ya hit hard for you. Believe.
Cameroonians, una pause the video, una read the article up here. Read the article. As of yesterday, May 21st, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, they don't come with a new law where you can no longer apply for your green card if you live in America. Where if you apply, you need to go back to your home country. You can no longer apply for your green card in America. You need to go back to your home country before you do them. All the people where they come as a student, they come as visitors, they come through Mexico Road. I'm saying any man where they stay in America, we no get paper, we no get green card. You can no longer apply for your green card while you are in America. You need to go back to your home country. You apply from there. You get a visa, an immigrant visa there before you will come now. Do your adjustment of status. You can no longer do your adjustment of status while you're in America. Now new law that don't pass. It don't just make the whole thing just look so difficult right now. Now the worst time for people with the stay in America, they don't give it pass. Now one of the worst times in this. So if you been a person where you stay here, we don't get ducky. Now no time where you need to mess around. You don't need to mess around with your, especially your money. My advice for people who don't get ducky. Work as hard as you can for the meantime. Work as hard as you can. Get 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Save all your pennies. Save all your money. Save every penny that you can save. None of tennis will go club. They do the remain. They go occasion. They spray money. Save all your money in case they come out a new law where go make us say you no man green card again, or they want the pop will no get paper. At least you get some money where they save. Where if you take that money, you go start a life in Cameroon or anywhere else. You understand? America not the only place where you support life. You can live. You can have a great life in other countries. You understand? So if you stay in the country, you no get ducky, you no get green card, no be not time for the mess around. Save your money. I will advise you save your money. The money where you waste time today for here. One day, if it happens to deport you, you go should also think about the money where you don't waste time. Type it in America, you go boys big cry. So they save your money, save every penny. Save every penny. With Donald Trump administration, we don't know if you do. We don't know if you come out with them next. Now, so you know if you longer apply for your green card in America, inside America, you need to return back to your home country. No, so it never ever be like this. With Trump, we don't know what Trump will do. So if it is stay here or repeat time, if it is stay here, we no get ducky. Be very, very smart with your money. They save all your money in case you ever find, in case they don't ever give you a green card, or they want just, they come out with different another law will make it so difficult for one to stay here. You use that money, don't save over the years. Go invest for Cameroon, or invest in another country, or we travel to another country. Not to waste your money. Be very smart with your money. Now not time for the mess around. Now not time for the mess around. If you know they do dorime, if you know get ducky, I know talk say they less than people where they get. I know talk say people where they get ducky, they better pass you. I just talk say because you know your stay if you're not the guaranteed. You know how to waste your money. Your stay if you're not the guaranteed. My a citizen or my get green card. He stay for America, they more guaranteed pass you. So you know how to waste your money, save that money. That money will save you one day. I'm out.
And for the life of me, I can't understand why it is that Jamaican people are rejoicing because of the new updates in the immigration system. Is it that you're not upset because when you need to go to embassy, you never get no visa? When people get deported, you rejoice. Now there are persons who are still there will never get deported but are told that they need to go home before them stay can be permanent or before them can actually get them green card. And then I rejoice. And let me I go start on the one them now. We go and get them stay. Wanna forget how hard it was? Someone forget how much things enough to go through. Forget the stay. For the life of me, I can never understand Jamaican people, and I am a Jamaican. On a bad mind, on a heart dirty, on a heart blacker than coal. You are some awful set of people, somehow, no? Who feels it knows it though. Because me can just imagine how stick a pin before me can even imagine. I can really imagine all the people them over the feel right now, knowing that this is the situation now. I remember my husband looked at me sometime last year and he said to me, baby, something is coming. Maybe you're just ahead of it. And I told him, I look back on him. Today I looked at him and I said, baby, you said it. You actually did say it. I must say, maybe I would get my green card yet. So maybe I would be there going through this. My body I run cold right now. Cold bumper, feel me. Why not so bad mind and evil? Why not heart so dirty? Why not so envious? Because someone will never get the visa. That's why I'm so mad. But let me tell you this. No matter how much hate you not go hate. And no matter how much bad mind you not go put on people. You see the experience where someone we get, it cannot be taken away from us. Living in another country gives us a different mindset. It gives us a different drive. You understand? So no matter how upset you not gonna be or how bad mind you not gonna be of a person that is living there, and no matter how no bad mind I go obvious now because of what a very evil man is doing, it will not take the experience away from us. And it will not change the fact that a lot of us have a better mindset now. Or a lot of us more driven now. A lot of us were exposed to better, including myself. When people get deported on a talk, oh, a Jamaica them did born, so what? Deportation means that you have to leave behind everything. At least these people get time for actually plan and probably put them things on some container and send it down and get some money and come home with for start life. And if you do better as Jamaican people, and very hateful, and very bad mind, and very envious, and a heart black as cold. What is in this to celebrate? People are trying. People want a different life and a better life at that. And somebody, there's just one evil person who just go at all ends. And instead, when you put on the hate on him, when you put on the hate on your own people, and you don't see nothing wrong with that. It is very sad. But today for me and tomorrow for you. That's where I'm gonna leave it at.
if you are an immigrant living in the USA because you overstayed your visiting visa and was looking to adjust your status by either getting married to a US citizen, listen up, because that's gonna be extremely hard, if not impossible, under this administration. Luckily, we only have a few years left, and hopefully the next administration we just completely forget this foolishness, because this has been something that we've been doing for years. This is something that I did, yeah? So they're trying to say that if you want to get your green card or you want to adjust your status, you got to go back to the country that you came from and adjust it through your homeland's US embassy. So let me use me as an example. I came from Canada and I overstayed in the US, and I was able to get my green card. Now I'm a citizen by marrying my husband, and we did the whole process while I stayed here in the US. No, they're saying that you want to adjust the status, you gotta go back to, I don't understand the process, but that's basically the gist of it. Adjusting status is not a right, it's not nothing like you have to do. That's what they're trying to say. They don't have to do it. And if you want to, you go back home and then you apply for whatever necessary green card documents or whatever it is. So yeah, guys, if you are in the process of wanting to do this or doing this, go read it up. It's big news right now.
So by now, you probably hear the whole news about when you're doing your green card application, you got to go back outside of the country and wait until it is approved before you can actually come back into the country. Whether you have kids here, married to a United States citizen, whichever one, you have to go out of the country and wait out your time. You know, previously we could have stayed here and go and wait and go do it biometrics, and yes, guys, that is no more. So what does this mean? Will you go outside of the country, or yes, will you go outside the country, and will you be able to come back inside of the country? So we don't know, because them can't deny you, them can't approve you, them can't draw it out extra longer because you're no longer in the country and be a burden. So there's many different avenues, different lanes where them can take, and the ball is going to be in their court, obviously, you know, because you're no longer residing in the country. You know, you're going back to the country of birth, and that's why you're going to stay until them decide when to approve that or deny that. And we all know that there's currently a pause on that entire thing, so that's going to be an extra long wait. So if you're in the process of getting get it yet, just know say that's the process right now. So if you try buy a plane ticket or something, for go home and wait. So not for make arrangements.
Guys, some new detrimental immigration changes that you guys definitely want to look into and maybe consult with an immigration attorney about. If you should need a recommendation, I do have one that I can refer you to, named Chris Esposito. Breaking news: Donald Trump administration orders all green card applicants to leave the U.S. indefinitely and apply from their home countries. So do read the details. Basically, what's happening is before you could come here and if you overstayed, you could apply for an extend, or you could get married and then your whole status changes. Well, now what's happening is that's not happening anymore. So if you overstayed and you're here, they're only going to make exceptions for like dire, like life or death. And it's got to matter to America situations. So before, if you overstayed or you came here illegally, you could go apply. And now basically what they're saying is we're not basically anymore going to be altering or creating loopholes when you just need to go back to your country and you need to apply. Now, I do want you to be mindful, because when you overstay your visa in the United States and you go back home, the United States doesn't have to let you back in. With the climate of immigration and our presidency and everything going on right now, I don't even think they would let you back in, honestly. So if you overstay from like a country that's a red zone, like Jamaica, Africa, depending on which parts of Africa you're from, Haiti, before they were granting the Haitians asylum because, it's the poverty and war torn over there. But now it's not going to happen. So I need y'all to be mindful. The only way that this extends is if it's dire circumstances. And you guys know that the Trump administration don't give a fuck about no asylum. Okay, they don't care about none of that. So listen, if you have a loved one that's coming here, because a lot of people's plan, you know, I know how it goes. I have a lot of foreign family. I have a lot of foreign friends. Is that, oh, we'll get you here and then overstay. Because my ex-boyfriend was trying to get his daughter to do that. She was coming on a band trip. And Jamaica's hard, so he was like, just stay here, don't go back. But the school held their passport for a reason. But he was like, no, just stay. And she was like, I don't want to do that. She was a smart girl, because she would have never got back into this country again. She would have had a hard way to go. She wouldn't have been able to ever identify herself because the school had her passport. You know, she was a smart girl and she didn't listen to her dad. But a lot of immigrants do this. And I just want y'all to be mindful of this, because this could really fuck up your whole chance.
The Trump administration just announced that green card applicants would have to leave the country indefinitely while their applications are being processed, even if they're already here illegally, even if they're married to a U.S. citizen, even if they already have American children. Think about how extreme that is for a second, okay? People who followed the legal process, who paid the fees, who filed the paperwork, built families and lives here, they are now being told that they could be forced out of the country for an unknown amount of time with zero guarantee of when they can come back. And let's be honest about what this actually means in like practice, right? Like families will be separated. Parents are going to be separated from their children. Couples are going to be separated. People will lose their jobs, their homes, their stability, pets, after doing everything the right way that conservatives always claim that they want immigrants to do. They keep saying, like, just come here legally. But when people do come here legally, they do everything right. The rules suddenly change again. This isn't about border security anymore. Was it ever? But now they are really proving this is not about border security anymore. This is about making immigration so punishing and unstable that even legal immigrants are treated like they don't belong, which is absolutely crazy to me considering the United States was built on immigration. Like, this is insane.
We warned you, especially you immigrants who were supporting Donald Trump. We told you that he wasn't your friend. We told you that no matter how many red hats you wore, that he wasn't going to look out for your better interests. And now those of you who are seeking a green card, now you have to go back to your home countries and apply for a green card because Donald Trump wants it so. Do you guys understand yet that he does not want people that sound like me or you? Ninguno de nosotros nos quieren aquí. La diferencia es que yo los reconozco y tú no. The difference is, I already know he doesn't like us. You thought that because you wore his gear that he was going to somehow look out for you. Well, he told you how he was going to look out. You can apply for a green card, but you got to leave the country to do so. Consequences.
As now they see me so, at the enter Niger sharp. When I see the new update where Daddy Donald drop. So the update it says if you're an alien, for people who don't understand, make I break them down. It means if you came in as a student like me, or as a tourist, or as a visitor, then you can't see person marry, or you can't decide to find love and decide to marry, and for that reason you want to apply for adjustment of status, or you want to apply for green card. Let me tell you, you will apply, but he's saying that you will go back home and apply for Hi, this man get Connie will. Hey, this is just the most polite way I have ever seen to say leave this place. This is just the sweetest and calmest way. If you want to apply, no problem, we are going to give it to you, but you have to go back and apply from there, and we are going to respond to you. Who give us that provision? They have not responded to people here. Now you, where they house, they won't respond to. Ha! Omona wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Damn, Baba Sabi. Who was this couple? Let me tell you something. As for me, I don't freak all these things. You feel me? All these places, I know they freak out. That's why as I enter, people are saying, hide, hide. Me, I'm not that person. If I will hide, then it is not worth it. Period. So I don't freak all those things. You feel me? If I have to hide in any city, it is not worth it. Niger, I will go house, go stay. After my academy here, I go enter house, which is left with some months, right? But if you are hoping to go home and apply from home, my brother, rethink it. Just go home, come on mind. Nothing you want to apply for. Who give us that? Hey! I never hear this kind of scoop for a very long time. I didn't tell now which I need to sabi as Obi sabi why I be. Go home and apply, okay?
The worst piece of legislation ever passed and signed into law in this country, without a doubt, is the Hart-Celler Act. This was passed and instituted in 1965, and it got rid of the harmonious immigration policies that demanded that the people that come here to live here have a background that could assimilate into becoming an American, meaning they're from Europe or Christian countries primarily. They're from places that have a structural, judicial, principled, cultural background that interlocks with ours, and won't be creating infinity temples or mosques all over the country and bringing in Sharia law, or won't be creating secret police stations for communist Chinese. That also happens. And so this was something that was critically important to the way the U.S. used to do immigration. And the way that they do immigration now is to bring in as many third worlders as possible, thanks to the Hart-Celler Act of 1965. Don't blame the boomers. These were the parents of the boomers. The boomers were like 9 and 10 years old when this was passed. So thank the greatest generation who, after winning World War II, made sure that America looks like it lost all of the battles. And now, look, foreign-born numbers as a share of our population are higher than any time in American history. We have no more shared common culture. We have no more shared story. America is not a melting pot. America has become a very contentious and fractious society that has vanishingly little in common unless with every passing year. And the Trump administration is, to their incredible credit, and this is the absolute best thing that the administration is doing, and why I support them and my support for the administration is rock solid, because they are now closing a loophole that lets criminal aliens and migrants stay in the U.S. while begging for green cards. First off, they're not allowing anyone to have a green card. They've effectively shut down all avenues of immigration to this country. And now they're telling people, you've got to go home. And if you want to be here lawfully, you've got to go home. It's amazing. Look at this. An alien who is in the U.S. temporarily and wants a green card must return to their home country and apply. This policy allows our immigration system to function as the law intended instead of incentivizing loopholes. The era of abusing our nation's immigration system is over. So what could happen is you could come here either through an open border, or you could come here on a work visa. Infinity Indians, for instance, have taken advantage of this, but other populations too. And then you can chain migrate your entire family over while you wait for a green card.
Oh my God, Trump just announced something that affects millions of people living in America right now. For over 50 years, if you were legally in the United States and wanted a green card, you could apply right there without leaving That process ends now. The Trump administration just announced that all foreigners in the US, people married to American citizens, work visa holders, students, refugees, must now leave America first and apply for a green card from their home country. So for the people from countries where the US has paused visa processing, going home to apply means potentially never coming back. Immigration lawyers are calling it a catch-22, go home and get permanently separated from your family, or stay and lose your legal status. Over 600,000 people already in the US apply for green cards every year. A former senior USCIS official said it plainly. The goal is very explicit. They want fewer people to get permanent residency because it leads to citizenship. They want to block that path. This isn't about illegal immigration. These are people in America legally, working, paying taxes, married to Americans, building lives. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Share this so everyone can see it. Spread the news. Follow me on YouTube and Substack, and check out links in my bio if you want to support. See you in the next one.
The Trump administration is moving to dramatically limit something called adjustment of status, and that's a process that currently allows many immigrants to apply for a green card while staying inside the country. Right now, many people can stay here legally while the case is processed. They keep working, they stay with their family, and keep building their life in America. But under this new policy direction, many applicants may now have to leave the United States and finish the process overseas through a U.S. embassy or a consulate. Now, we're not talking about a small number of people. The U.S. approved around 1 million green cards last year, and about half of those people already living inside the United States adjusting their status. That means potentially hundreds of thousands of future applicants could be affected. And this includes people already here legally, workers, students, H-1B visa holders, spouses of American citizens. Now, the reason this story is exploding today is because USCIS is now publicly saying adjustment of status may only happen in extraordinary circumstances. And immigration attorneys are sounding the alarm because nobody fully knows what qualifies as extraordinary. Critics are warning that this could create massive delays, family separation, and huge backlogs at U.S. embassies around the world. And one giant question still hasn't been answered. What happens to people already in the process right now? If this moves forward at full scale, this could become one of the biggest immigration system changes in years.
Wait till you hear this shit. The Trump administration just radically changed the green card process, making it so much harder to get a green card. Because now, if you want to apply for a green card in the United States, you have to leave the United States to do it. Before, you can come to the United States, begin the green card application, stay in the United States while it's pending. That's going to change. The Trump administration now says most people who apply for a green card actually have to go back to the country of origin, essentially where they're coming from, and they're going to have to apply for an American visa through the American consulate in their home country. It's going to impact students, tourists, so many people. And get this, there's currently a travel ban in place for 39 countries. So how are they going to come back into the United States of America? I don't know. For others, they're going to have to go back to countries where they may have faced persecution, or countries where there are ongoing civil wars. Policy takes effect. It's likely going to be challenged in court. We'll see what happens. I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Thousands of Nigerians in the US could be forced to leave America before getting green cards under new Trump policy. Now, President Donald Trump administration has ordered all green card applicants to leave the US immediately, go back to their hometown and reapply from their hometowns. Now, under this new immigration policy, this could affect a whole lot of Nigerians who are already living in the US, working in the US, studying, and who are under temporary visas. Now, under the new rule called DHL rule, foreigners with visas such as H-1B, F-1 student visa, OPT, and OS could be forced. In fact, they are not allowed in the US right now. They are told to leave, go back to their country, and reapply for permanent residency with immediate effect. They are told to go back to their hometown to start consular processing before they could apply for permanent residency. And what could this mean for Nigerians and all who are under these temporary visas? This could mean a fresh embassy interview. This could also mean a tougher security check. This could also mean that longer delays and some their visas might be denied. Now, Americans are tagging them aliens and they're asking them to go back to their country, go and reapply. That you cannot stay in the US anymore with temporary visas. Go back to your country, reapply for consular processing, and then you can now come back with your permanent residency. Omo, it is well, oh. This one go tough. Now every day Donald Trump they bring one or two. It is well.
For the people rejoicing about this news that passed yesterday, I have a few questions. Is it that you're just bad mind? Is it that you came to America and you did not make use of your time, so when you see other persons coming here, it irks you that much? Is it because you can't stand to see your fellow Jamaicans or fellow immigrants thriving? Huh? Is it our fault that you came here from America was for everybody and know that it gets tight and you did not make use of your time? You just hate immigrants so bad. As an immigrant, I think you people are sick. You weren't born here. You came here, you overstayed, you adjusted your status, got green card, got citizenship, and all of a sudden, oh, I don't care, this will happen, jump lock them out, I don't want them here. You weren't born here. You're not a born American. Are you righteous in the head? As I mean, what people always say, bad men worse than Obi, I know. I want to prove that to me yesterday. You guys prove that to me. Go pack up and go on. Is it that because you did go to the embassy and you did not get that visa, you don't just hate immigrants so much? And not our fault. It's not our fault. Why you couldn't qualify to get a visa? Why you come so? And not our fault. You never go to school and get a local education or have a local business or have something. Why you could get a visa for come up? So because you couldn't get the visa, you are hate. And because someone will come here and we so bad mind, we are hate. Like, you're sick. You people are sick. You're sick in our head. Sick. And every time you see you comment me black, if you don't get black, I may not see it. Because I want no parts. Me don't have nothing because bad. Me don't have bad mind catching and me don't want to catch it. Me don't want no parts. You people are crazy.
Guys, I know that you've already seen this all across your timeline, but I just wanted to say that the new policy memo that USCIS dropped by no means is saying that you cannot file for adjustment of status. What they're saying now is that instead of just qualifying on paper by showing that you entered here lawfully and you're now married to a U.S. citizen and is in a bona fide relationship, they want to see that you're doing more. They're trying to say that you have to prove extraordinary circumstances as to why you should be able to remain in the United States and adjust your status versus departing and completing the process overseas. They're going to be scrutinizing the applications much more, which means that you have to strategize much harder in order to get past getting a green card. So again, it doesn't mean that you cannot apply for a green card. It just means that you have to produce more supporting documents. You want to show all your good characters because all of that would be taken into consideration. That's it. That's all.
All right, guys. So USCIS is looking to implement a new policy, whereas if you're trying to get your green card and you're in the US and you do everything to get the green card and you get it, you have to go back home and wait until your green card process. You have to do the process through the US consulate over the country in the country that you're from. So if you're currently waiting on green card or you're about to put in your green card application, they are coming in with a policy. I don't know if it's gonna pass or what, but they're talking about this new policy where you have to go back home. So if you come from Jamaica, Haiti, Guyana, Belize, wherever, you have to go back home and wait on the process and go through the process with the US consulate back home. So my question was go on with that one, because this something new, something different, because normally you can stay in the US and wait until you actually do your green card biometrics and your interview and everything. So it says USCIS just announced a new policy. Immigrants seeking green cards should leave the US and complete immigrant visa processing through US consulates abroad. The Trump admin now says adjustment of status inside the US should be treated as an extraordinary form of relief. So basically, I say if you're coming here and I try to get your green card here in America, you are basically depending on the system. You are trying to get relief and all of these good things, quote unquote. So, I can see what go on now.
President Trump is changing the green card rules. Becoming a citizen of the United States is not a right, it is a privilege. By changing the green card rules, President Trump is once again turning it back into a privilege. People will no longer be able to wait inside the United States for a green card. They must apply and stay in their country of origin until they get an answer. Foreigners in the U.S. who want a green card will have to leave the United States, go to their country to apply. The Trump administration made the announcement to the green card changes on Friday. I have to agree with the administration in the fact that your first visit to this country should not be applying for a green card. I am in absolute support of these changes. What are your thoughts? Let me know respectfully, please, in the comments below. You guys have a wonderful weekend. God bless each of you.
So yes, effective immediately per a USCIS memorandum, people that entered on a non-immigrant visa, for example, a tourist visa or a student visa, will no longer be able to adjust their status inside of the United States with the exception of extraordinary circumstances. Now, we don't know exactly what they mean by extraordinary circumstances, but more than likely they're going to be denying a lot of applications at the interviews. People are now going to have to consular process regardless of if they have a valid entry or not. Now, again, pending extraordinary circumstances, this is going to affect a lot of people that came in legally with a B1, B2 tourist visa, for example, that now have U.S. citizen children above the age of 21. Normally and traditionally, they would be able to adjust status, but that is no longer the case. That is effective immediately per USCIS website. Again, pending, with the exception of extraordinary circumstances, people that entered legally into the United States are no longer going to be able to adjust their status to that of a lawful permanent resident.
Trump makes it harder to immigrate to the United States, except if you're white from South Africa. Now, they got a free pass. They can come in all they want. White people, this is telling you something.
At this point, I think that it may be far easier to become a citizen of heaven than to become a citizen of the United States of America. Because right now, US President Donald Trump just said that before Nigerians and other immigrants from all over the world can get a green card in the United States, they must first travel back to their country. Yes, you heard that right. You can no longer be in the United States of America and get a green card. You must leave the United States and go back to where you came from and then apply for a green card right there. They are expected to apply through the United States Embassy in their country or through the consulate. You will stay in your country while you wait for them to approve it. Now, there are two major concerns here. A lot of people that are in the United States are either there because there is conflict in their country, or maybe they are facing some problems in their country before they came to the United States. The question now is, how will they travel back to their country where they ran from? Secondly, the United States of America has already placed a travel ban on some of these countries. So if they travel back to their country, what's the guarantee that they'll be able to come back to the United States? And this is just one of the many strict rules that the United States government is imposing on immigrants in their country. The only hope for them now is that this is going to be appealed. So if the appeal is accepted, then there'll be hope for these immigrants. Now, I have a question. Apart from the United States of America, Canada, or maybe the UK, what other countries can people travel to without all this stress?
If you're applying for a K1 visa or you are in the US on a K1 visa, this news has nothing to do with you. The new policy has nothing to do with K1 visa holders, okay? The new policy is only targeting temporary non-immigrant visa holders like the student visa holders, H1B visa holders, or tourist visa holders who are trying to adjust their status in the US. The only time a K1 applicant faces crisis is if you enter into the United States and fail to marry your US citizen partner. That's the only time you can have problems, okay? Please, let's stop spreading misinformation, and you guys stop tagging me to all those posts, please.
Anyone with a pending green card, or if you know someone who's trying to apply for green card based on marriage, not just any green card application, a green card based on marriage, please listen to this. As of May 22nd, 2026, USCIS just released a brand new memo at your adjustment of status interview. USCIS officers are being instructed to ask you serious questions and even deny your case if you don't give a valid reason why you are adjusting your status in the US instead of adjusting back in your country. So they are basically saying you have to go back to your country and adjust your status unless if you can give a strong, valid reason why you are adjusting in the US. This is a huge contradiction to current immigration laws because the law was passed by Congress in 1952 and the same law was amended in 1968, giving you, the US citizen spouse, a chance to adjust your status in the US as long as you can prove a valid entry to the US. And unfortunately, USCIS just come and say, we don't care about this law. You're going to follow this memo, which is a huge contradiction. And I don't expect this to go just like this. I know for sure there's going to be a huge fight. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits against this law. What I can say to you, if you have a pending case, is really to pray for your case. And if you are thinking about fighting for your case and you keep saying, you know what, I'm going to wait until Trump is gone, that may never come. If you qualify right now, whether for citizenship, whether for whatever immigration benefit, go ahead and fight because we don't know tomorrow.
Stay away from the airport. If you don't have no papers in the United States, stay away from the airport. Donald Trump will be sending ICE to assist TSA as early as tomorrow, Monday morning, with the whole backup. As you know, there's a shutdown with the government because more money is needed to fund ICE operation. So a lot of persons are calling in sick. That are the security, they will check you through. If you go up, if you go board the flight. So if you don't have any papers, ICE will be at the airport as early as tomorrow. I've been watching so many videos. They're saying even if you're dropping off your family member, you pick up somebody, you know, a lot of undocumented people, while you might not be traveling, you're picking up your child that is coming into the country on a visa, you're picking up your parents, you're dropping them off. Now, what they're saying is that ICE officers won't be at the check-through point, but they'll be all around the airport, so they can be randomly walking up and down, checking with people to ask for documents. Let me see your green card. Let me see your citizenship. So if you are traveling to a next state and you're thinking about taking the airport, do not. No, you might say, oh, what are the odds they catch you? You don't know. If you don't have any legal status here in the United States, I urge you to stay away from the airport. Even the Greyhound bus, them not even safe right now. You need to think of where you want to stay and permanently stay there while you sort out your immigration status. But the airport right now, you need to stay away from it. As I got up this morning, I opened Google because I was pulling up my calendar to see who I have to book, who book consultation for today. And as I opened it, the big old news, something come up. ICE at the airport. I'm like, what is this? No, again, you might think you want to chance it, but I recommend you don't. Stay away from the airport, right? Make sure you start putting together a plan how you are going to obtain legal status here, but stay away from the airport if you don't have legal status here in the United States. At this point, I know people are going to say, pour me have work permit, pour me have this, can I travel? Stay away from the airport if you don't have a legal status, green card or citizenship. All right.
The truth is, the asylum application that you filed is going to get you deported eventually. Every consultation I do regarding asylum, I will sometimes review the application with the clients or just talk to the clients about their story. And I can tell you that 99% of the time, the asylum is really, really bad. I'm talking a lot of the times it doesn't make sense. On the face, just doesn't even qualify for what asylum is. And so the issue is that When you go to the USCIS interview, if you're able to go, unless you went directly to court, you have like a 20% chance of being approved. It's probably even lower. Once you're at court, it's a lot lower than 20%. And I think the reason why these numbers are so skewed negatively is because the asylums are just done so poorly. This is an area of law that I would say you absolutely need to speak with an attorney about, because asylum is so tied to what the law is. There's certain elements of what asylum is and what it isn't. There's case law on that. But it's really important that your story covers those elements. We have to make sure that your story even qualifies.
Guys, if you're living in America, even if you're a green card holder, and you have gotten yourself in any little issues which could get you deported, right? And if you are just a visitor to America, and if for whatever reason you're undocumented in America, as long as you are not an American citizen, and you have your money in the bank, if you have green card and you're law abiding, listen to me good, you need to have your green card and be law abiding by the book. Listen to me now. You see, if you are not an American citizen and you are not a green card holder who goes strictly by the book in America, take out your money out of the bank. Your money will be frozen and it will no longer be yours. Trump has ordered the banks to do an extensive reviews of the activities of non-citizens in America, which means that even if you're a green card holder, your finances will be reviewed by the banks. But if you do everything by the book in America, stick to the law, you may be all right. But for all the other green card holders who iffy here and iffy there, take out no money. And for people who undocumented in America, and wherever you get paid from, if you're not cashing on, and you set up any little bank account anywhere because them allow you to work meet, take out your money, or else your money will be going to the government. You can't say J Progress name one, no. All right.
Jamaica, yes. Jamaica is impacted by what's going on with U.S. immigration. I'm Latoya McBean-Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York. Jamaica is on the 75 country immigrant visa pause list. You might have heard about this because maybe your family member or perhaps you recently went for an interview at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston and you were told that you're not going to get your visa today because although you're eligible for it and all looks well and good and you should in fact get your visa, but there's this pause in effect and therefore they're going to set your case aside in administrative processing, which is an indefinite hold, HOLE, until the government says it's time to get you out of that hole. We think that's wrong. At McBean Law, we filed a lawsuit against the State Department, and some Jamaicans are part of our lawsuit, as a matter of fact. Everyone's case deserves a fair review by the U.S. Embassy. That determination should be made on a case-by-case basis, not based on some global, strange, indefinite policy that just doesn't give any indication to real people who are impacted by this of when the government is likely to lift this. And even the rationale for this is really weak, guys. Weak. This is what we're doing at McBean Law to help real people.
The Trump administration just made an immigration policy change that's not going to have the effect they think it's going to have. See, Republicans keep saying they want people to come here legally, but the Trump administration just made an immigration policy change that says, hey, if you're already in the United States temporarily, a student visa, a temporary work visa, a tourist visa, and you decide you want to try to get a green card while you're here, well, you'll have to leave and return to your home country and apply from abroad, and instead of just attempting to adjust your status here, which has been available for decades. Because here's the thing. You might say this sounds like a good idea, but leaving the United States is not just a trip home to file paperwork. leaving the country can trigger travel bans that can keep them from coming back into the country for up to 10 years. Many of these people have U.S. citizen spouses, U.S. citizen children, and it means that they're going to be separated from their spouses and children, their families, for up to a decade. And guess what? This will backfire on Republicans. This policy will, because I wouldn't leave my family for 10 years just because Trump, who's going to be gone in a little under 3 years, says I have to. So people are going to just avoid immigration services. They're going to stop applying. They're going to disappear from the legal process completely and try again later. And that is what Republicans don't want to deal with. They want to just say, look, there's more illegal people that we didn't know about. You can't spend years yelling, do it the right way, and then keep making the right way not work. You can't make the right way slower, more expensive, more confusing, and more punishing. That does not reduce unauthorized immigration. It creates more of it. And these people are too stupid to realize it, because when the legal process becomes more dangerous, more expensive, slower, and more likely to separate families, fewer people use it.
Hola, hola, hola. How are you? Wagwan, the beautiful people of Jamaica. So, guys, something big is happening in America at the moment, and honestly, we've always been talking about Jamaicans wanting to move. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the immigration rule by President Donald Trump, whereby he's telling immigrants, you know what, if you came here via student visa, if you came here and then you want to get American citizenship by marriage, you know what, that's not going to happen. Go back to your country and reapply through American embassy. And of course, you all know that what that means. So everybody is talking again. And this time, the opinions, the debate is intense, especially from the Jamaican community, the Caribbean immigrants, African immigrants, Black immigrants communities that are living in the United States of America. They are talking because Donald Trump's latest immigration move has triggered fear, it has triggered anger, it has triggered a debate and confusion, I can tell you. So people are speaking up. I hope you watched the entire clips, guys, to hear from them what they are saying, because this thing is so stressful and frustrating. So as much as the immigrant, a larger percentage of the immigrant communities are in fear, they are frustrated, I can tell you, the debate is kind of divided in some way, because you'll find people being really cruel about it and saying that, yeah, that's how immigration should actually work. But I can tell you that the biggest debate at the moment is about one thing. Should immigrants that already live in America be forced to return back home and apply for permanent residency from outside the United States of America instead of adjusting the status through either marriage or student visa? That is one thing that is being discussed now. And I can tell you that this conversation alone, it has taken immigrant communities everywhere. They are talking about it everywhere, in bus stops, at home, online, in TVs. They are commenting about it because, you know, so many people, so many of them came, or rather, so many of them traveled to America believing that there was a way through, either by studying, by working there, by marriage. Then after that, they were hopeful of getting a permanent residency, then citizenship. But honestly, that was the dream of so many people that went to America through that path, especially the Jamaican people, African people, Caribbean immigrants in general. But again, many of them at the moment do live in fear because, that pathway that they used to go to America could now become extremely hard for them. So people are emotional, people are sad. I mean, imagine after building your life in America, then suddenly you are told, leave, go home. It's hard, right? Because, most of these people went there temporarily. And you know what temporary means anyway. So there is so much debate, not just about the President Trump, but about immigration itself, right? Some black people or immigrants, it's so funny that, but I will say these are those that have the legal documents to be there. These people are really supporting stricter rules when it comes to other people migrating to America. But again, a larger percentage of them do oppose because so many people are going to suffer. So many of them. We have those people, or rather the American themselves, most of them think that immigrant communities, they all think the same politically. Like you see, when it comes to politics, it's normally like coming together as communities. And the black people, they normally support like one candidate. And when they say that they're going to support this person, they do so, by the way. It's not like they are actually like guessing. But again, they believe that people from outside America, or rather the immigrants, normally think about the same. They think the same politically is not true. Actually, they don't, because at the end of the day, they are people from different places, backgrounds, communities. You understand? So that perception shouldn't be actually the case. There are those that really waited for so many years. They waited legally to get to this point whereby they'll have permanent residency and even citizenship. But now they are feeling frustrated. They are feeling extremely frustrated, especially those that got it through marriages. It's very quick to get permanent residency when you have an husband or a wife there. So there are those that have used shortcuts, of course, and people have come out to talk about this. I don't know what you think about that, because for me, I believe that, it depends. If you are sharp and smart, you'll actually get the documentation very easily. But if you're not smart, then it's going to take so many years for you. And that, of course, will become painful to others, because this immigration thing is not just paperwork. It's family, it's survival, it's dreams, it's sacrifice. When you even see this Caribbean family and community, the African community, many of them, when they go to this America, for them it's life, because they go to improve our life back at homes. Anyway, we have so many Jamaicans that grow up with relatives and families abroad. And then later on, America becomes part of him or her. Then, what normally happens, is that when they leave and go to America, they get to support their families back home through remittances. You see this Western Union, MoneyGram, and they help their families back at home to survive. You'll see most of the time the parents going and then the children follow later on. And I can tell you this immigration thing has really helped so many families. And this time that America wants to change the immigration rules, it's too personal for many Jamaicans and Africans and the Black community. Very personal, by the way. You know, right now, many Jamaican immigrants feel nervous. They feel frustrated, fear within themselves. And if you even talk about the students, those that travel there on student visa, it's frustrating. You know, it's so much money to go there. If you are in Kenya and you want to relocate, go study there, it will cost you over $1 million shillings, and that is even you see. I mean, I know people who have gone there and they have had to have so much in their bank accounts. So they pull up a group of people to do fundraising here and there. And, you know, them seeing this kind of updates and reports now, it's really frustrating, you know. So the students, I can tell you, they're not feeling safe there because, you know, most of them know that when they go there, they do their study. Later on, they start talking there. They get the opportunity to, you know, live there. Talk about those who are married to American citizens, and especially the undocumented ones. Oh my God, it's gonna be chaotic. Families are going to be separated if this takes effect. Because you know, since the formation of the ICE, I can tell you things have not been good. You see these people there at the airports. They easily question you about everything. I mean, this immigration thing is getting harder and harder. I think I don't know if I have that clip of someone saying that now it's even easier to become a citizen of heaven than to become a citizen of America. And of course, we love those that feel targeted, and not just targeted, but targeted politically. Others will be blaming their fellow immigrants. And you know, it's interesting anyway, because why would you blame your fellow immigrant just because, like, they're doing ABC and that is why you are not wanted there? So people are openly, you know, either supporting tougher and stricter immigration rules, others don't. And of course, at the end of the day, we have to swallow the bitter pill that America owes nobody citizenship, right? A bitter pill that you have to accept that. But again, America has really built so many immigrants. Talk of jobs, businesses, raising families. And I mean, it's just beautiful. It's really emotional to see strict rules applying to immigrants in America. When the ICE came in and they started arresting people and deporting them anyhowly, the American economy suffered. You know, not even the economy, but employers, they really suffered because now the American people that they were employing in their farms, in their construction sites, they wanted too much money. Immigrants, they used to just ask for some little money, very affordable, for the American employers. And I don't know what's going to happen now because this fear is too much. And you over there, I don't know what you think about that. For me, they should just let people be, you know, as long as they're not doing any crime there, they're just living following the rules there. They are legally there. At least they can deal with the non-documented ones, but for the documented ones, it's better. So what happens to the children that were born there? Because you see, this immigration thing is really technical and very sensitive, because it affects real people, real homes, real families, real futures. And I can tell you that some time back they were talking about, even if you are born in America, it doesn't really mean that you have to become a American citizen by birth. You can be born there, but you'll still go back to your country. Whew, guys, this thing is very sensitive that I don't even know what to say and what not to say, because it's affecting so many people, and I feel for them. Because imagine living in fear. You are in America, a place where taxes are so high. You need to work 3, 4, 5 jobs for you to sustain that economy. Here you are seeing this update on immigration move. You are probably on student visa or got married. It's crazy. It's crazy because, if you are sent back home to reapply, that will mean that the chances of you getting the visa again is like 0.000, like it's none. You'll not get it. So there is this belief in so many black people's mind that the American dream is disappearing, because honestly, it's true anyway. At the end of the day, the immigration policies are tightening. But remember that it's not just happening in America, but globally. America is doing it, Europe is doing it, UK is doing it. And that is because of economic pressure, by the way. If you look at these countries where immigration is massive, they end up having issues to do with their housing. They have housing problems, they have job competition, inflation, and all this will be pointed at aimless or careless immigration. And politicians will be triggered to come out and speak and talk about them not wanting immigrants in their country. And then that's when you see the leaders saying that, yeah, why don't you build your country and stay there? South Africa is also doing the same thing, but it's the local citizens who have decided to take the matter in their hand and, chase other Africans out of South Africa. So Jamaicans don't feel secure now because of this immigration thing. Most of them live in constant fear, in constant uncertainty, because remember, you're no longer sure about your work permit, you're no longer sure about your visa renewal, you're not sure about these interviews, about immigration. I mean, so many things. So I don't know, I just want to really pray for you if you are one of them that is struggling with this. For those who have not yet gone to America, at least, we should be like, thank God. Let's just plan ourselves with this economy that we are facing in our various countries. Accept it, build within the economy, because what else can we do? What can we do, honestly? There is nothing we can do if an administration has come out and imposing stricter and stricter rules on their immigration policies. That's like them telling you, we don't want you here. Stay in your country. Be someone there. We are doing all the best, paying our taxes here to live a better life, to have better future. So for many Jamaican immigrants and African immigrants, this topic is very sensitive, because you see, migration has always presented this perception of opportunity, better future, economic survival, you see, all those things. So at the moment, there is that emotional instability that people are feeling. But again, people have always seen America as hope. They are used to America being this place that is better, but now it feels unpredictable. And I understand that feeling because I sometimes feel it, by the way. So I don't know, guys, what to think about this, because of this migration thing, immigration is no longer just about policy in America. It's identity. It presents fear. It prevents. It represents economy. You know, so many other things. Survival. So probably you could let us know what you think about our video today. I truly appreciate your presence, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, ciao. I love you to the moon and back.